Hello and welcome, and thank you for joining us on Business Incorporated. I'm Chimeze Obi Iwagu. Today on the show, Nigeria's total capital importation slumped 7.7% in the third quarter of the year. S&P downgrades South Africa's outlook to negative. An African Securities Exchanges Association begins its 23rd annual conference in Botswana. We'll begin here in Nigeria as the country's total capital importation slumped by 7.7% in the third quarter of July to September. Data from the National Bureau of Statistics shows the headline figure was down to $5.367 billion compared to the second quarter, but higher on the third quarter 2018 level by 7.99%. The largest amount of the total capital imported in the period was through portfolio investment in stocks, bonds, and other financial assets, totaling $2.99 billion, or about 85.88% of total. Other investment portfolios accounted for 40.39% for $2.1 billion. Now, the lowest portion of the capital importation was foreign direct investment, hitting a low of $200.08 million, a 3.73% share of this $5.36 billion. And S&P Global has downgraded its outlook for South Africa's credit rating to negative, citing weak pace of economic growth, mounting government debt burden, and liabilities related to the country's energy utility Eskom. The downgrade significantly increases the probability of a downgrade in the sovereign rating of Africa's most industrialized economy. South Africa is already ranked at sub-investment grade by both S&P and Fitch ratings, while the last of the three main ratings firms, Moody's, has left it teetering on the edge of junk status. While S&P says the negative outlook indicates that South Africa's debt metrics are rapidly worsening as a result of the country's low GDP growth and high fiscal deficit. S&P and Fitch moved South Africa's debt to sub-investment level in 2017, though the reprieve from Moody's means the country has so far not endured the spike in borrowing costs typically sparked by a downgrade from all three agencies. And moving to the markets now, the NSE index here in Nigeria sustained the positive sentiment seen last week as the index was up 0.19% at intraday. On the flip side, South Africa's JSE index was marginally lower by 0.08% after S&P downgraded the country's credit ratings to negative. In Egypt, the EGX 30 index was also negative as it fell 0.38%, while the market in Kenya closed negative on Friday. And the Middle East region, all the major markets we track here were in the green at intraday. The Abu Dhabi index added 0.99%, with Abu Dhabi Commercial Bank leaping 3.1%, while First Abu Dhabi Bank opened up 0.3%. In Dubai, the index was up 0.63%, driven by a 0.7% rise in Emma Properties and a 3.9% surge in unit Emma Development. The Qatari index edged up 0.56% as Commercial Bank gained 1.4% and Qatar Insurance added 1.3%, while Saudi's index rose sharply to about 0.08%. And in Europe, markets traded higher in the morning with investors hopeful of progress in the U.S.-China trade dispute. Traders also monitored the outcome of the Hong Kong vote. Well, Orich is reporting for us from the Frankfurt Stock Exchange. Hello, Orich. A very good afternoon to you. Good to have you back on the show. Okay, Orich, if you can hear me, a victory for the Democrats in the municipal election in Hong Kong. How is the reaction to that playing out in the market in Europe? Well, I guess Orich is having some kind of audio issues there. We'll get back to him as soon as we're able to address that issue. Let's look at the UK now, Britain's two main political parties have now both launched their manifestos in separate bids to win over the public ahead of a crucial December 12th election. Well, aside from politics, a number of corporate news hits the market today. Let's see how all of those are playing out in London. Let's talk to Juliana. Hello, Juliana. Good to see you again. A beautiful week to you.
Same to you, Chimmy. Nice to see you. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Well, the TfL has concluded it will not grant Uber London Limited a new private hire operator's license in response to its latest application. What will this mean for other ride-hailing companies? And, of course, what's next for Uber?
Well, what this means for other ride-hailing apps that have really hit the market over the past couple of years, it's good news, really. You know, Uber is the biggest the hail riding app in the world. And yes, it's had a big blow this afternoon. TfL, Transport for London, who are the governing body in the capital that oversee the transport system, they have concluded that Uber is not fit and proper to run. This has been a back and forth battle with Uber and TfL for the past couple of years. Their license was revoked previously in 2017. It was reinstated, but only for a short period of time, whilst TfL was basically looking at their standards and all of their regulations. It's not just what's been happening in London. There's been a series of scandals across the world involving Uber and their drivers. There have been a lot of sexual harassment cases. Some of them have actually been rape cases. And here in the UK, what TfL found is that there are thousands of drivers who were basically uploading images of perhaps friends or colleagues who were not registered to ride in Uber, but they were riding. So passengers were unknowingly entering these cars with drivers that were not authorised. Of course, Uber have come out saying that they're completely shocked at the result. They said they will appeal, and because they are appealing straight away, Uber will still be running in London for the next 21 days. But it is a big blow. Of course, you know, they are the San Francisco based company, but London makes up, as well as the other New York and other cities across America, they make up a quarter of their sales. So at intraday, Uber shares were down 5%, and their 14,000 registered drivers are worried.
Right. There are a number of corporate news coming in today. Now, France's LVMH has confirmed that it has reached a deal to buy U.S. luxury jeweler Tiffany and Tiffany & Co. So I don't know how much you love jewelry there, Juliana. And what does this deal mean for fashion lovers like you, or probably me? I don't know.
Listen, Chimmy, you know, I love Tiffany. I must say it's not something that I get every Christmas. But, you know, if anybody has $100,000, you can actually buy a Tiffany advent calendar. Look, you know, this is a huge deal. This is the biggest luxury takeover deal in the world. LVMH, they are the owners of Louis Vuitton, Christian Dior, Moet and Chandon and Hennessy. They're a big brand in Europe. They also own some really big watches like Hublot and Tag and Bulgari. And so this $16.6 billion takeover, their shareholders and their CEO has said that this is really trying to push them into the American brand and also really enhance their jewelry line. Some people are saying, you know, Tiffany, why would you do it? Yes, it's an iconic brand with that duck egg blue shade, that box that has become synonymous with the jewelry. They are popular, but they have been on the decline recently. Last year, the year to July, they made about $4.4 billion in revenue. Their revenues are declining, but LVMH believe that they can put some life behind the brand and, you know, give it a nice vamp up. And it's a great story just before Christmas, especially for those partners that want to please their wives in their lives. So it's a good luxury story.
All right, let's just hope that this deal makes a difference for the two companies. Well, we also have Just Eat in the news, advertising shareholders not to accept process offer. How are all of these corporate news shaping the markets today, and what is the outlook for the week?
interesting day, actually, considering that the gig economy is, making headline news here in the UK. First of all, it's Uber. Now, Just Eat is another one. Just Eat had an offer from the Takeaway.com, which is a Dutch company, in July for a merger. This merger would make them, outside of China, the biggest online takeaway delivery service. But at the last minute process, they're a South African-based company. They've come in the market and they're offering shareholders much more. They valued Just Eat at about $4.4 billion. And even though they're offering more money, Just Eat is saying to their shareholders, please do not accept this offer, that it would be great for two European conglomerates to join together, and there could be so much more that we could achieve. But shareholders have until the 1st of December, so it'll be interesting to see whether or not they take the money over the opportunities. But let's have a look at the numbers at intraday. The FTSE All Share is up 0.55%. The FTSE 100 is up 0.61%, and the FTSE 250 is up 0.43%. In currencies, Boris Johnson still doing really well. Traders think that that's pushing up sterling. So sterling at intraday is up on the US dollar by 0.40%, also up on the euro by 0.45%, and up on the Japanese yen by 0.56%, Chimmy.
All right, Juliana, thank you for those updates. The week has just started, so let's hope for a brighter week as we move on. Enjoy the rest of the day.